السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. Alhamdulillah, we're going to start, we're continuing and starting with Surah Al-Imran. And Surah Al-Baqarah, it is a surah, and some scholars, calls it the surah of the people of Musa alayhi salam, meaning those who, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about mostly in Surah Al-Baqarah, of those who came before us, was Musa alayhi salam and the Israelites. Now, Surah Al-Imran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be talking mostly about, from the stories of before, of the Isa alayhi salam and the follower of Isa alayhi salam, An-Nasara. And the beginning of Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us about the kind of people they are, people in general. But in Surah Al-Imran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts by telling us about the kind of people who are handling the book or reading the book. How those who are deviant and those who are sincere. And again, just as we are starting Surah Al-Imran, remember that those two surahs, Surah Al-Baqarah and Surah Al-Imran, are two special surahs. Special surahs that will come at the Day of Judgment as clouds, if you will, غمامتان غياتان, of a cover of the person who kept them, person who took care of them, person who understood them, person who memorized them. So whether you memorized it, understood it, and it becomes part of who you are in application and understanding, they will come as a protection for you at the Day of Judgment. These are very special surahs. And again, when we handle the Quran, we want to, read it as a message. And it's very important. Read it as a message. A message, when you receive a message, you have a certain attitude. When you do receive a message, like I was going to say in an envelope and you open it. Well, we'll say that envelope and open it and take it out. And you have an attitude when you do that. A mindset. The mindset is, there is something there, somebody sent it to me, so I get some kind of a message. I need to understand it, right? As soon as you open the message, the attitude is to understand, what is this? And now when you get a message on your phone, and you turn the screen on, and you click, what is it? The attitude is, you want to see, what is this saying? Okay. And if it is telling you to be careful of something, telling you to giving you some new information about something, it's telling you that they give you a task to do, or what it, and it depends on who it is coming from, right? If it is coming from someone that's lower than you, you're not going to, if you're at work and you're getting something from lower than you, you're not going to pay much attention to it right away. Okay? And it depends on that person, you know. And if it is from one equal to you, maybe pay some more attention. But if it's coming from up to you who is down, okay, meaning in ranking, you attend to it right away, and you pay attention to it immediately and what it is saying. Okay? So yes, we read, you know, the Quran, and we read it for barakah, and that is okay, and that is blessing, and that's recommended. But it is not for this is not quite for the core purpose why it's a message for us. Okay? It is the core purpose is guidance, and within the Surah Al-Baqarah and Al-Imran, the foundation of guidance of humanity, the whole humanity is there. Okay? And this, when Allah tells a story, it's not a story to be told for the purpose of knowing what happened in the story. And sometimes we get, you know, into this, and we're trying to find names and places that Allah did not mention in the Quran, right? And that would be our research, okay? Where exactly that happened, and who is this and who is that, and go into these details. And that is not, okay, if it is something that Allah did not say, then the knowledge of it is not going to make much difference. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, picks something and give it to us, then it has importance. Remember in Surah Al-Baqarah, when before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started talking about Adam alayhi salam and the creation, the beginning of the creation, as if it is like Allah is going to start right before that, the section before that, or the page before that, what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talk about? إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَسْتَحِي أَن يَضْرِبَ مَثَلًا مَا بَعُوضَةً فَمَا فَوْقَهَا. Allah is not too shy to give an example of a mosquito, and something even more, it seems to be very smaller than that, or more greater than that in example, right? So, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about the kind of people. أما الذين آمنوا فيقول إنه الحق من ربهم فيعلمون أنه الحق من ربهم وأما الذين كفروا فيقولون ماذا أراد الله بهذا مثلا. The believers say it is al-haq from Allah, it doesn't matter. But now that this believer will say, what is Allah wants with this? Like they take it lightly, right? No, that is, everything is significant. And that's why when you read the Quran, sometimes in the story, and then all of a sudden Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stops. And you as someone who read in a story, you want to know what happened next, you know, and what is going on. No, Allah is giving you what you need. It doesn't matter, because it is the concept. It is the concept itself. It's not the people and so forth. It is a model Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us, right? That you would measure everything else with it. Okay. When Allah in Surah Al-Baqarah calls it Surah Al-Baqarah and tell us about the story of Al-Baqarah in it, the story of Al-Baqarah, you can say it as a you know, a good night story, right, to the children in some, you know, story fashion of a tale of something. But then you can dissect it to see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showing us here, showing us what happened with the categories that Allah mentioned at the beginning, believers and disbelievers, and what kind of a disbelievers they are. And now here are now the people arguing with their prophet and so forth. So this alertness, okay, needs to be there as we are, you know, going into to reading the Quran. And Al-Imran, the people of Imran, the people of the Imran is the name of the family of Isa alayhi salam, the family of Maryam ibnata Imran. Maryam ibnata Imran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us she is the daughter of Imran, or from the offspring and the lineage of Imran. So here is the information that Allah will give us about them. But as we're learning, there is a foundation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us at the beginning of the surah, right? An understanding, an opening to the surah to tell us, to put us in a mindset of what this surah is about generally. Okay, Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم نزل عليك الكتاب بالحق مصدقا لما بين يديه وأنزل التوراة والإنجيل من قبل هدى للناس وأنزل الفرقان إن الذين كفروا بآيات الله لهم عذاب شديد والله عزيز ذو انتقام إن الله لا يخفى عليه شيء في الأرض إن الله لا يخفى عليه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء والذي يصوركم في الأرحام كيف يشاء لا إله إلا هو العزيز الحكيم
جزاك الله خيرا.
Alif Lam Mim. Allah, there is no God, there is no Allah except Him, the ever-living, all-sustaining. He has revealed to you the book in truth, confirming what came before it, as He revealed the Torah and the Injil, the Gospel, previously as a guide for people, and revealed the standard to reveal the standard. Surely, those who reject Allah's revelation will suffer a severe torment, for Allah is almighty, capable of punishment. Surely nothing on earth or in heaven is hidden from Allah. He is the one who shapes you in the womb of your mother as He wills. There is no Allah, there is no God except Him, the Almighty, All-Wise.
No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begins with Alif Lam Mim, and we know these letters that some surahs started with, and there are many, understanding of these letters. We talked about it many times, that they are the letters that the Arabic language is made of, and this is taken as a challenge. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses for the Quran, and nobody can get anything like it. They do not, and they will never be able to, as a challenge. And that could be the indication that this is coming to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, not from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, because that indicates that it is he was told, because he was unlettered man. So to begin by mentioning letters, that doesn't quite fit with him. He's unlettered, so he knows the sounds, mostly the sounds of the word of the letters, but not the name of the letters. Okay, then he will not use the name of the letters in his speech, because to him he knows the sound of it, not the name of it, meaning the alif and the lam and the mim and so forth. And you can take it in many ways, and some even scholars talk about the makharij, where it comes from. Okay, alif lam mim, just for an interest of a study. He was saying alif, the movement of the, there are letters from the lips, letters from the inside the mouth, and letters of the throat, right? Okay, so alif, when you say the alif consists of 3 letters. The letter alif, when you say it, it consists of 3 letters, right? Or three sounds, okay? 3 sounds. A, la, f. Those 3 letters, the hamza and the lam and the fa, right? To say alif. So where is the hamza come from? From the throat, deep, okay? And then lam, la, it comes from the mouth, inside the mouth, okay? And then f comes from the lips. So it is a movement going, okay? Alif comes from the inside out, alif, okay? And then lam starts not from the bottom, starts from the mouth, la. And then the alif after it, lam, alif, mim, lam. So the lam is from inside the mouth, and then the alif, it is to elongate, make it long. Okay, la, and then go to the lips, mim. So the alif will start from deep, and then middle, and then the front. The lam starts from the front from the middle to the front. And where the mim comes from, it's all lips, mim. The first mim is make it long, and then the second mim is to close it. Okay, so mim. So he was, and it's unique and so forth, and it's latifa and so forth. But okay, what are you going to do with all of that? Okay, it's interesting. Okay, and so forth. And I'm just mentioning this to show there are many angles to look at this, and it's all interesting. But at the end, it is what you do with it as well. Okay, I believe I can look at this and go into this and reflect on it and so forth. But at the end, there are actions to be done. Okay, so yes, that strengthens the iman when you go into dissecting the Quran as a grammar, and how important, how beautiful the grammar is of the Quran. And sometimes Allah Subhanahu wa Taala would break the rule of grammar to make a point and to magnify certain information and so forth and importance. Yes, we can do that and so forth, and it is mesmerizing. It makes you feel like, yes, closer to this book is full of treasures. Okay, yes, but at the end, as we say, it is the what the message is. So saying that alif lam mim and the letters and so forth, no companion asked about it. You understand? That tells something. Okay, there's no companion or no one, companion or non-companion, asked about it. Okay. Now alif lam mim. Okay. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts by Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. The starting of Ayat al-Kursi, here is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the two attributes, okay, la ilaha illa huwa, and then al-hayyul qayyum, the two attributes that together like that again, as Allah mentioned in Ayat al-Kursi. So there is no ilah but Allah. Yeah. And here is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about himself in the second person. in the third person. Allahu la ilaha illa huwa, right? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked to Musa alayhi salam, okay, أنا ربك لا إله إلا أنا فاعبدني وأقم الصلاة لذكري. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will talk to us, to talk to Musa alayhi salam about himself in the first person, أنا. But here is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying huwa. Okay? So get used to this. Okay? But this is something that we do not use when we talk to each other. Okay? But it is a language of greatness, a language of this is when you say huwa, there is no one but huwa. So when he, you say he, I'm talking about a deity, is only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? It's like you don't need more more details than that. Okay? It is because He's the only one. Okay? Like when you identify people who are coming, let us say all doctors, okay, for example. So you say Dr. So-and-so, Dr. So-and-so, and you mean by name, Dr. Khalid, Dr. Ali, and Dr. so. But then someone will enter and you say, here comes a doctor. So you do not even have to mention his name. That means what? Everybody knows him, right? There is no way that nobody would not know him. Like no one in the audience will say, what do you mean you did not mention his name? Nobody will say that because he is the one. This is, for example, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Okay? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned prophets and messengers of Allah, mentions them by name. Right? Mentioned them by name. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, mentioned him by name 4 times, but mostly in the third person or second person. So there is no need to say who that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about here. Okay, Ya ayyuha nabi, okay, Ya ayyuha rasul, okay, and so forth. So you do not get confused that is it which Nabi and which Rasul Allah is talking about here. No, it is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But all the other messenger, okay, Allah mentioned them by name. Ya Nuh, ihbit bisalam. Okay. What? Ya Musa, خذ الكتاب يا يحيى خذ الكتاب بقوة. Okay. نعم. الله سبحانه وتعالى قال الله يا عيسى إني متوفيك ورافعك إلي. And so forth. يا إبراهيم قد صدقت الرؤيا. Right? And so forth. Okay. So Allah لا إله إلا هو. Okay. الحي القيوم. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells He is Allah, okay, and He is Huwa, Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum. And we talked about this, that Al-Hayy is a beautiful name, that through that name you know how to think of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how to think of Allah as a deity, okay, and the limitation of this. Because Hayy, the word Hayy is understood by us. Okay, what is Hayy meaning? Living and life. And Hayah to us is limited. Right? Is limited. Because Hayah with us does not come except with maut with it. With death with it. Okay? Always. Before it was death, and after it is death. That's how we understand Hayah. And you do not have to explain that to anybody. You don't have to. You do not, tell you what existence is to somebody. You see somebody is existing here, alive. Okay? So I know he's alive, and I know he was not alive before, and I know he's not going to be alive soon. I don't know when, right? But when we come to Allah, you yourself, without any other in explanation, you don't want to think of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like that, the creator like that. You say the creator is existing. Yes. Now your mind is not going to work that way. It's not going to work and say, oh, that he's existing now. So at one time he didn't exist. Wait a minute. So you cannot say that. That Allah is created, no. Your fitrah does not accept that. And also fitrah does not accept that it is not going to be at one time existing. And no, that's not possible. It is not, that's not with Allah, with the Creator. So right away, when you say Al-Hayy, it puts Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a special category without so much effort. Okay? So much effort, so much thinking and dissecting and all of this. Right? So now we take all the attributes like that, the same way. Right? So you say Ar-Rahman. Okay, now, well, let us talk about Al-Qayyum. Al-Qayyum. Okay, so Al-Qayyum meaning he's constantly taking care of things. Qa'im ala al-amr, you know. Qayyum meaning an exaggeration of the word, of standing and doing work. Okay, meaning things are happening. But now, you're going to take it the same as Al-Hayy. Okay, the same way. Because you're not going to understand it through who we are and our existence. You will understand it through the existence of Allah. Al-Hayy, not us. But so with us, what happens? That we are contained by time and space, right? Contained by time and space. We are created in time and space. Actually, time and space was created before us. Adam alayhi salam was created and the earth existed. And things on earth existed. Then he was put in this time and space. Okay, so he's controlled by that. So in order for you to get something done, to what? To become qa'im ala amr, to stand in on a matter, to achieve it, what do you need to do? That what resists with you is time and space. So what you're doing is going to take time and is going to take a space within that you do the action. Okay? But now when we say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala al-Qayyum, that should not come to us as an understanding now. Okay? Allah is not controlled or limited by His creation of time and space. Allah existed before time and space as we know it existed. Okay? So even with us, there is certain ghaib that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us a glimpse of it that we can and measure somehow. Okay? And some ghaib that is absolute ghaib. Hellfire and paradise and all of that, and the maut and after death, and this is ghaib that absolute. You cannot go there unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you information, tell you what it is. But you cannot experiment with it. It's not tangible to us. That's absolute. But also there is some temporary ghaib for us. Okay, that what's happening in the other room is temporary ghaib for us. We can go to open the door and see what's going on there. Okay, so what is happening in the sky above us and in time? What is time to us? Time as we know it. You know that there are days and there are months, and there are years and there are minutes and there are hours and so forth, right? But then we discover something in the space where time does not quite work like it, like us. like a black hole. Okay, that discovered, and the measurement of time, it doesn't work. The mathematic, okay, of the earth as we know it doesn't work when you start talking about this. It just doesn't fit. Okay, and when you look at quantum physics, so what we know so far, this is something, just hit us in the face. What is this? All what we know before is all this is breaking all rules. Tell me that there is something, one thing existing in two places at the same time? What is this? And now it could be measured. And not only that, if you affect one of it in one space, the other one is affected the same way. What is that? How is that? Okay. So the reason for all of that is to say even what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows us to know, we are amazed by it, that breaks all kind of rules that we thought it would never be broken, right? So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say to things be, and it is, okay. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not take exert an effort to make something happen, yes. Later on, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell Maryam, the angels will tell Maryam alayhi salam what? That Isa alayhi salam is the word of Allah. Okay, when a Christian tells you that, because a Christian tell you that, you say, yes, we believe that too. You say, see, as if, got you, that he's the son of Allah. Astaghfirullah. When you say the word of Allah, it is the opposite of this. It is the opposite, meaning that Allah say to him, be, and he was. That's the word of Allah. This universe is the word of Allah. Allah said to it, be, and it was. Us, we are all the word of Allah. We did not exist. Allah said to be, and we became, and so forth, right? So, Al-Qayyum, Qa'im, constantly, doing, the taking care of even when we say doing, we have to be careful with this so we do not get that impression that all the matters is done by His commands. Okay. Alhamdulillah, rahmakallah. So, it is given by His command, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And nothing happens except by His command. Okay. So, now Allah is telling us now that the books that Allah give us. But here is, Allah tells us about Al-Kitab, okay, came upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, bil-haq, the absolute truth. But then, وَأَنزَلَ التَّوْرَةَ وَالْإِنْجِيلَ. Okay. So Al-Tawrat or Injil mentioned by name, but you call this Al-Tawrah and you call that an Injil, but Allah did not say Al-Quran. Okay, it would seem like, Al-Quran, Tawrah, Wal-Injil. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said Al-Kitab. Okay, so what is the difference? The difference is Al-Kitab is physical, right? Kitab, book, a book that you can open it, and it, and from the word kataba, which means to write, to document. Okay, so this book, that means the others, you can say a Torah, and a Torah is what? Is the name of, you can say the words that Musa alayhi salam says, but not quite, the book. The book itself is right now, it is not, the book of a Torah is not a Torah, and the book of an Injil is not an Injil anymore. Okay, it is something different. But the book that came upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is still the book. It has no change in it. Okay. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and brought what? Al-Furqan. Okay, what is Al-Furqan now? Which one? Which one Al-Furqan? So you see, they are what? Are they here now? 4? Al-Kitab, Torah, Injil, Al-Furqan. Or Al-Furqan it's a description of this. It is a description from faraqat to separate. Okay, to separate meaning everything that we think of as a human being, it does some kind of a separation. Everything. Okay, it's always a choice that you make. There is always a choice that you make. Okay? And sometimes you cannot help to make a certain choice, and sometimes you can help to change it. It depends on the situation. Okay? For example, right now I'm sitting and I want to get to the other side of the room. I'm not going to choose to walk as I'm sitting, even the chair that I have has wheels, right? I'm not going to do this. I choose to stand up and walk. You didn't even have to make a choice. This is what goes on. Okay, that's what makes sense, and this is what's obvious, right? And sometimes you have to think about it. Okay? Sometimes you have to think about it before of what you like and what you don't like. Are you going to put, in your tea, you're going to put sugar or you're going to put honey? It depends on what you want, right? And so forth. So Adam alayhi salam here is everything you eat from, you and your wife eat from everything here, so you could have these choices, make a decision. But don't get near this tree. Okay, that means it's a choice that you make too, but you know that you shouldn't. There's always some furqan that we have to make. So this furqan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, you use this as a way of criterion, to use it to make judgment and to measure and to decipher things and between things and so forth. This is the purpose. Again, to use it as a message that is coming to you. With it, you do an action. Okay. إن الله لا يخفى عليه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nothing that's hidden from Allah, fil ard, in the earth, and sama, in the skies. There is, you have to think of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as such. You have to take this furqan as such. You cannot be the one who make a decision on it. No, you cannot evaluate it yourself. Okay, you use it as a way to decipher things, but you yourself do not evaluate it. Should you use it or not? No, you have to use it. It is given to you to use, but you do not judge it, but you take it as to judge other things. So again, how we think as a human being. I will not get, an advice, a physical advice about my health from an engineer, right? But I have to get it from a doctor. So I evaluate where the information is coming from. And how old are you? As one put it as a joke, he said, I will not go to a doctor that is still practicing. When he finishes practice, I'll go to him. Right. I'm not going to go to somebody who's practicing on me, right? Okay, so that's wise, meaning a word of wisdom, meaning a human being has to do something to be able to know something, right? Have to practice to perform well, right? But here's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, لا يخفى عليه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء. There is nothing hidden but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the earth and the heaven. Okay. And then go to you to put you in your place. هو الذي يصوركم في الأرحام كيف يشاء. Okay. That is, He's the one who fashioned you as He wishes in your womb. Okay. So now when you come out of the womb of your mother, everybody, look at you as helpless. You cannot do anything for yourself, right? And when you reach a certain age, all of a sudden you are the know-it-all, right? You know everything now. Okay, especially when we are very young, the teenage years, as we trying to find our muscles and the hormones, and then we are understanding things and we think that we know it all. And a child, when you talk to a child and try to explain something to them, what do they say? I know. And you say it many times. That's how much they do not know, right? Right? Okay. And you have some adults will say that, you know, that they're not there yet. Okay. And then the child will say to you, I can do it. I can. You understand? And refuse help. Okay. But when you get to adulthood, what happened? You realize, and you see the maturity in the child as they grow. When they realize that they do not know and they come and ask, oh, it's getting to maturity now, right? And when they do tasks and then they figure they cannot do it and say, I need your help here, that's maturity. You know, now the child is getting it. Now he's growing up, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you, this is who you are. And there is no way at one time in your existence on earth that you will be acquiring the knowledge about everything that around you. There is no way that you will reach that. You still need guidance. Okay? But if you think of yourself and you think in your brain and you say, I can figure this out and so forth, like the one who says, "What I think, therefore I am," and you know, philosophy, and people go, you know. But we say, no, I think, therefore I need help, I need guidance, because I think. That means I'm trying to figure out between things what to do, not to do, and this is good, this is beneficial, this is not, and so forth, make decision. And since I am a person who cannot, impossible for me to surround everything in existence in my knowledge, therefore I need help from the one who can do that, who is capable of doing that. From the one who's لا يخفى عليه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء. That's what I need help from. Okay? So, because he, you know, يصوركم في الأرحام كيف يشاء. لا إله إلا هو. There is no God but Him, deity but Him. Now Allah says Al-Aziz Al-Hakim. Okay? Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum, to understand who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. Al-Aziz Al-Hakim is the one that you have relationship with now. Okay? Al-Aziz, Almighty, the strong, they cannot be defeated. And also the one that you need, the near and dear to you, and the beautiful word that has two in it, that has both, that is the mighty, the strong, and also the one that is near and dear to you, that you love and you need everything from Him. Okay? So by saying that يصوركم في الأرحام كيف يشاء, and at the same time He's the one who is Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum, and knows what's in the heaven and the earth, right? Then this relationship between the one who is an infant and the one who created the infant, is the infant always needs the one who created him. So he's near and dear to him. Okay, near and dear to him. And you take now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as Al-Hakim. Al-Hakim meaning the most wise, that does things in a perfection. Hikmah is to put things where it belongs, exactly where it belongs. Okay? You as a human being, you look at it, at things that's happening, and you say, that quite, you know, you wonder, why is this happening here? Now, do not go there. Now, you know Allah now, right? So do not go there and say, you know, what is really the wisdom? It could be better written. No, it is not. Okay? When the qada of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, al-qada wal-qadar, comes, you use it as a hujjah, okay, on the calamity. When the calamity happened, you use the qada and qadar, okay. The earthquake happens there, the qada Allah, khalas. But,
Can you say just in 5 minutes more?
Okay, jazakallah khair. But al-qada wal-qadar cannot use it on al-uyub, or the deficiencies that we have, that we, okay. You cannot say, you cannot not do something that you are asked to do and you say this qada Allah. No, you cannot use it on the faults. Okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He gives a command to the universe to act in a certain way, and it does, that is wisdom. But we cannot decipher how is this wisdom. People here suffering this and that, but it is wisdom behind that. And when Allah gives us a command to do something, that is wisdom as well. We do not evaluate it, should we do it or not, and so forth, right? So that is the hikmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in everything. In everything that is happening to us and everything that is we are told to do, the hikmah is there. Okay. Now that is the picture and the foundation of the surah start to get clear. Okay, because there are many things now that will happen in the surah that we need this understanding in it. Okay. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. If you'd like to make any comments, inshallah.
Did we do Sheikh Mahmoud Wallahu Azizun Dhun
ذو انتقام, yes. Yeah, absolutely. That was skipped.
Yes.
Jazakallah khair. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Yes, Allah Azizun Dhun Intiqam. Okay. See, the Azizun Dhun Intiqam came before what? Al-Aziz al-Hakim.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And Al-Aziz came with both.
No.
But right? But Dhun Intiqam is the one that will take revenge, okay, of what you're doing. Okay? That is a warning.
Yes.
Okay, and the Aziz and Hakim, that is for the believer,
Yes.
right? Yes. Okay, so for it is both of them. Aziz, the Aziz Dhun Intiqam, that means the Izzah with the might.
Correct.
But Aziz and Hakim is the Izzah with the love,
No.
right?
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and Dhun Intiqam, Jazakallah khairan.
Yes.
This is something that puts a comfort in our heart. That to see the consequence that happens in events, and we see people going through injustices, and the oppressors, and what happens to them. When we see the consequence, and throughout the Quran, Allah tells us about the consequences of things, and how those who did this and what happened to them, and did this and what happened to them, and so forth. Right? So yes. It is Aziz, okay, but Dhun Intiqam and Aziz, and it is Rahim and Aziz, that's Hakim.
Yes.
Jazakallah khair.
That's the end of the tail end of the ayah that comes in الذين كفروا بآيات الله لهم عذاب شديد والله عزيز
Dhun Intiqam, yes.
Yes. And then the opposite of that will be
إن الله لا
Quran.
يخفى عليه.
Yes.
Yes, so I skipped this.
No
verse,
problem.
yes,
No
yes,
problem. I just
yes.
want to remind.
Jazakallah khair, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, والعاقبة للمتقين after that. Also
Yeah.
the opposite,
Yeah.
when we think about this.
Yes,
No.
yes, Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair.
Qayyum. So Allah Ta'ala created us in arwah before, and then we are born, the ruh come in the body, and when we die the ruh leaves the body again. But that ruh stays. I mean,
Yes.
once Allah Ta'ala has created, it will stay like it won't, end after that. Forever, or, that's not clear. Alhamdulillah.
Yes,
Yeah, for
the
that
ruh will
yeah,
continuous.
forever then. So it means once we are created, we'll be forever after that,
Yes, yes.
but not the. But there is an initiation Allah Ta'ala created us
Yes.
at some time.
No. Yeah.
That is amazing.
But the ruh, it will be in a place, okay, in a place of between the two places, right?
Right.
And then the resurrection and the meeting between the soul and the body will come again, okay? But will be created differently now, later on, yes. Yes. MashaAllah.
What is the difference between truth and life?
And life? Life is existence. Okay, the life is what the ruh lives. The ruh has a life. Mean existing in a life is what you do. This is your life. Okay, but you're talking about a nafs maybe.
The life does not exist forever and ruh exists forever. Is that what?
The life has categories. The existence, okay, in this life, that's a life of this world, and the life of the hereafter, the life of the grave, the life of the hereafter. It's a different category of life. Yes, but the Lord,
But it is the life
the existence of the same ruh,
same ruh in different places.
conditions. Yeah.
Maybe he wants to know the difference between ruh, that you mentioned, ruh,
And nafs, yeah. And nafs, it is, you have the physical body, okay, and the ruh, right? And they are together, become a nafs, right? Become a nafs. And they, then when it is separated, okay, that nafs is different now. Okay, this existence is different. And you can work with the nafs, but you do not work with a ruh. A ruh meaning that there is a nafs that is mutma'inna, okay? There is a nafs that is lawama, and there is a nafs that is amara bis-su', right? That means you can deal with that. You can deal with this nafs. That your nafs is amara bis-su', and you want to get it to the one that is lawama, right? And you want to get it to al-mutma'inna. You deal with your nafs, okay? The nafs that want to go astray. But both ruh and physical body cannot go astray. You understand? The body, once they are separated, does the body have a choice to do or not to do? No, it'll be in the grave. It will deteriorate and everything, right? And cannot do wrong, right? And the ruh as well cannot do wrong by itself now. Okay, it's existent, right? But when they are together, there are nafs that could do wrong. So the nafs it is what we are working with, because our body, our soul together. And when they are together, now they can go astray, can go wrong. So we need to hold all of this nafs and to tame it and train it and so forth, right? So that is what is, the quality of a nafs could be different here and there. But so the body is part of the nafs, and the soul is part of the nafs. When they are together, they become like a third category. Wallahu a'lam. Wa iyyakum. Yes.
I have a question about this Al-Furqan.
Mhm.
There are riwayas, some of the riwayas say Quran, and some of them they say that after mentioning a kitab means the Quran, and Torah and Injil, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning Al-Furqan. That means collectively, these books, 3 books that are mentioned, they separate, good from evil.
Mhm.
Al-Furqan, they separate.
Mhm.
So, Mufassirin, some of the Mufassirin like Jalalain, he says that because it's mentioned, but the only thing that confuses me here is Mu'anzal al-Furqan.
Mhm.
See?
Mhm.
So, like, Quran is Tanzeel, and these 2 books were really wholesome. Torah and Injil, they were really, revealed in together, everything together, not like in like Tanzeel, like Quran. Quran is revealed in 23 years.
Mhm.
So the Furqan, where it says, وَأَنزَلَ الْفُرْقَانَ. That is
Okay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran that the Torah is a Furqan as well. It is not just an understanding. No, it is. Allah calls it a Furqan as well, the Torah itself. Okay, so yes, all those three, Allah mentioned in them the guidance to decipher between things. Yes, so all they are included. Okay, and the Tanzeel, not necessarily when it is mentioned, Wallahu A'lam, that means it has to be separated. Okay? So, for example, when we say وَأَنزَلَ الْفُرْقَانِ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says وَأَنزَلَ الْفُرْقَانِ, this could be an emphasis. For example, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says وَيَقْتُلُونَ النَّبِيِّينَ بِغَيْرِ الْحَقِّ, okay, and they kill the messengers بغير الحق, without haqq. Does that mean messenger could be killed with al-haqq, meaning a messenger will kill somebody, so he killed the messenger because he killed? Right? Does that make sense? No, it isn't. So what does بغير الحق mean? Because when we say بغير الحق, we'll have the understanding that you have now, which is what? That means he could be killed, but they killed him without haqq. Another word, the one who's asking that, saying that the messenger, did not kill anybody and so forth, and and how you can wait until if he, going to judge the messenger. No, غير الحق here meaning, like when you say, this person here, they hit him, and he, and he really, and he did not do anything wrong. Right? He really, didn't, so it is an addition of wondering or emphasis on something special. Okay? So وَأَنزَلَ الْفُرْقَانَ, and Allah brought down the Furqan. Okay? So that could be included in what? Not necessarily separated from the others, but included in them.
Some of the riwayas, they say that it is separate from these books. Means Furqan is like all the prophets, they had their mu'jizas, their
Miracles?
Yeah, miracles and everything. Those could be the one that separate from people, And some of the people, they have gone other ways. Mufassiri, I read so many tafasir, and this Furqan has been explained in so many different ways. That's all.
But they all agree is what?
Anzala. But see, Anzala is the key word here. Anzala Furqan.
Yes? Yes?
Does Allah mean like gradual?
Allah
It can be at one time also.
Yes, and also what I mean is it's not a separation from what was mentioned. So you could say وَأَنزَلَ الْفُرْقَانِ would means brought down al-Furqan in all the books that was just mentioned. Okay?
As well as the other signs of Allah, which miracles.
Well,
and
yeah, okay. You're talking about the wahy. The wahy that was Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. You can say it is the Quran, but it is the Sunnah as well as the wahy. So we use the Sunnah to make differentiate between things. You can say that Sunnah is used to be like Al-Furqan as well. Is that what you? Yes.
If it explains the Furqan in the Quran, for example, وَعَلَمُوا أَنَّمَا غَنِمْتُمْ, towards the end, وَمَا أَنزَلَ عَلَى عَبْدِنَا يَوْمَ الْفُرْقَانِ يَوْمَ الْتَقَى الْجَمْعَانِ.
Yeah.
وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا مُوسَى وَهَارُونَ الْفُرْقَانَ
وضياء وذكرى للمتقين. Yes.
تبارك الذي نزل الفرقان على عبده ليكون للعالمين نذيرا.
Yes.
وإذ آتينا موسى الكتاب والفرقان
نعم.
لعلكم تهتدون
Yes,
هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى
they are not two separate things.
يا والفرقان
Yes.
ومن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم.
Yes. جزاكم الله خير. Okay. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك جزاكم الله خيرا. Oh, brother Habib is saying salamu alaikum to everybody.
Did he wait over there?